This is getting out of hand, you guys. It's looking like a freaking storage unit up in here, man. Oh, freaking boy. Oh, yeah, that came in too. Totally forgot to tell you guys about that. We've just been so freaking busy, man. It's been crazy. Finally got the body out of here. I think we got the firewall done for the most part. And you can see, man. Yeah, buddy. Frame is back from powder coat, you guys. We got the rear end assembled. I don't know if you guys been watching the Instagram. We assembled the rear end not too long ago. All goodies from UMI, Viking, of course, Pro Forge, and it's time to put this frame together because we got to get rid of a lot of these parts, man. They're just in the way. We got to get them on the chassis. Guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Man, we got a freaking mess, you guys. Organized mess, I should say. But we got to get to it. We got to get to it, man, because once again, like I said, it's just getting out of hand, dude. It's just getting crazy, ridiculous. We're out of space. Chevelle's sitting outside. It's nuts. The Regal's gone, you know. But it's time to get this chassis assembled. Once again, Viking, UMI, Pro Forge, Quick Performance rear end for sure, man. I cannot say enough about Quick Performance. You guys order the rear end. They send you the stuff in boxes, but all you got to do is put it together. It's not hard, it's not crazy, but it is well worth it. It's definitely worth it to go. This is a 9-inch rear end, and it's also shortened. We shortened it 1.5 inches on each side, so we'll be able to put a bigger wheel underneath this Chevelle. But like I said, frame is back from powder coat, and I'm excited for that because now we can get this thing rolling. I think we're going to start in the back end, rear end first. There's many different ways you can go about this. I want to say we're going to go ahead and put the control arms on the frame first, and then we'll slide the rear end underneath, shocks, brace, all that good stuff. We'll kind of do it that way and see how that goes. But let's get started. Before we get started with the rear end, we do got to adjust these control arms to length. What I like to do is grab a factory A arm and just match it. Just really match the length to that guy first. So that's a good starting point, good reference point until you get these chassis underneath the car, wheels installed and everything, and then you can go from there and adjust that pinion angle, wheel placement, all that good stuff. But we went with the UMI adjustables for that reason, because he's probably going to be running a bigger wheel, so that gives him all the adjustability that he needs to get that wheel nice and centered, pinion angle, all that good stuff. All right, you guys, we're gonna stop real quick. It is the next day, as a matter of fact, and we ran into an issue, and I'm glad we did, because it gives us an opportunity to show you guys what we do, or you can do. And there's a few different ways to tackle this thing. There's plenty of different ways to skin a cat, you guys already know. I wanted to do something that you can do at home with minimal stuff, and that's gonna involve actually modifying the brackets you already have. Now, I've done it several different ways. This is the factory bracket, not even factory, this is the UMI bracket. If you guys are running UMI suspension, this is what they send you. Now this is designed for a GM 12 bolt, 9-inch, or a 9 bolt, I'm sorry, 10 bolt, Jesus Christ. 10 bolt, 12 bolt, one of those two, right? Now, this is a quick performance rear end. This does not fit that. What I did on my car is I modified the crap out of this thing. I mean, really just started cutting and welding. And I welded it to that, basically that guy right there, and made it work. And then we had that coilover bracket mount right there, right? Now, because this one, I didn't want to modify this rear end because it's already nice, powder coated, and I really don't want to scuff this thing up. So, Quick Performance sends you a bracket that actually looks more like that. Just kind of a little U-shaped bracket, nothing too crazy, but the problem is there's two problems you have. The shock actually hits right there. That's a big issue. That I don't like that at all. It's gonna rub and hit and everything else like that. But look at that. It's already hitting, you guys. No space whatsoever. So what happens is there's not enough space between here and here, obviously, so we need to shim this out. You can take a bunch of washers, shim it that way, correct? Now, if you don't have that, or if you want to do a little bit better than that, it is going to require you guys some modification. Now, I had to go pick up some new bolts, for one. That's the biggest thing. You're going to have to pick up the new bolts because that's what comes with it. I mean, look at that. That's not going to work. So, we had to pick up, I want double the size there. I want to say now it's a 2 inch now versus 1. So what I did is actually, you see the bracket, we already started modifying. We shaved it down, all this right here. Right now we created a nice little arch so it actually didn't hit the shock here as well. So we created an arch here on both sides, right? And also we added a bunch of material. You see all that material right there? Now we took it from this guy right here, and like I said, I wanted to do something that you guys can probably do at home. Now, definitely not easy cutting how thick that thing is. We actually took the UMI and basically cut those ears off and reused them as a big old shim slash washer, and then we welded them together. Now, why did I use that? Because guess what? It already had the hole, the actual pre-made hole for that same size bolt. Let me show you. Now, here's that bracket that comes from Quick Performance for their rear end. Now you see that freaking bolt that's got to go through. That's a big boy. So like I said, that UMI bracket on those ears that go basically here, the bolt here, that's the size of that guy there. So we utilized that side of those brackets, cut them out, and then basically made our shim that way, or whatever you want to call it. And then we want to weld them together to basically create a big old spacer. Now maybe in the future we can do like a billet aluminum one or something like that, so it's all one piece, solid, and looks clean. But like I said, I wanted to do something that you guys can do at home, so we went that way. We're going to clean that stuff up later, but I wanted to show you guys kind of what you got to do. Now, it also, I put just basically the two, I want to say it's a 1/4 inch bracket, that one that from UMI, and it actually, it was clearance there, but I didn't like it. It still was not enough for me, so we added another layer of material there just to bring it out even further, so we had no issues whatsoever when this thing rides up and down. But like I said, you're definitely going to have to modify your coilover bracket or find a way to mount that bottom bracket. I'm going to get to work. I'm going to finish fabricating the other side, and then we'll put some paint on it, coat it up and everything, clean it up, and then we'll move on to the front of this thing. We're working our way up front, you guys, but very important, I try to tell you guys, is motor mounts is a big issue. When you go to put motor mounts in, put them in before you put those A-arms in. It's gonna make your job a lot easier, because once you put those lower control arms in, they go in this pocket, and then you can't get your nut, you can't get your bolt through this for the motor mount. So I always like to actually put your motor mounts in before you put your upper and lower control arms, especially the lowers, because it obstructs the ability to get that nut in there. and this just makes life a lot easier. So motor mounts first, and then upper and lower control arm. Oh man, it is not looking good out here. Check that out, you guys, man. There's must be a bunch of like fires, I think, going on in northern Nevada, even Arizona. We were out in Oregon not too long ago, and there's fires going on out there, and we are seeing it, man. There's like actual like ashes coming down. It is bad. Air quality sucks. Chevelle's getting clapped, but yeah. But frame looking good, baby. Frame is looking good, you guys. Man, oh man, it's super dusty. I'm struggling out here with these allergies and dust and everything. But what you guys think, man? It has been a lot of work, and we're not even done yet. We're still missing the inner and outer tie rods. We did not do those because I'm waiting on a bump steer kit. We're gonna do a bump steer kit on this thing, but that's all that's left on the front end as far as the steering goes. Just a bump steer kit. We've got the sway bar mounted up, brakes good to go. Spinning like that, they should be spinning just like that freely, you guys. Cross member is in. I think it's just sitting there. Now we are going to have to drill those holes out, but we're going to wait till we get the motor and transmission set. That is a G-force cross member, if you guys were wondering. And back here, only thing really we got left is really the coilovers. Remember the coilover bracket that we had to make? I went ahead and did the other one, or I should say finished up the other side, but I sent them over to powder coat because I didn't want to put them on like that. So we're waiting on those to come back so we can mount the shock and everything and put this thing on the ground, maybe put it on some rollers or something. Went ahead and mounted the sway bar in the bag just to have it set. We still got to obviously mount it to our links. Our links are nice and mounted up top on the frame right here, but we're going to wait so we get actually the weight of the car back on the body, chassis, and everything else. Those got to be set once all the weight is in the car. So we're gonna wait to do that. But other than that, I mean, the frame is looking good. We still obviously got a bunch of work. We got brake lines to run, pre-run, and all that jazz. Bunch of stuff. I got to order some lug nuts as well. Just a bunch of odds and ends we got to do to tidy up this frame. But hopefully the next time you guys see me, y'all see that crate sitting over there, baby. Blueprint engine. Maybe we can mount the motor and transmission, get that ready. We probably do got to change the oil pan on it though, because we got to put the 302-2 pan on it. But hopefully by next video you guys will see that CPP box as well. But I'm digging it. I am digging it. How's my hair, you guys? How's my hair? Is a little clap, man. I'm freaking sweating my butt off. It's probably like 108 today. But if there's one piece of advice I can give you guys, if you guys are putting these frames together, especially when they're off the body, biggest thing I've learned, and I've learned the hard way, believe me, is bolt orientation. Bolt orientation. What I mean by that is when you're putting this frame on, consider the body being on it. Can you get that bolt out? Can you get the nut out? Can you pull it out? All that stuff, because I see it a lot when people are putting these frames together. Like I said, I've done it. You put that bolt in there, oh man, it went in so easy and good. But when you go put the body back on it and you're actually working on the damn thing, guess what? It won't come out unless you got the body off, because the way you put that bolt orientated, whatever it is, bolt orientation is probably the biggest one I've learned. So just make sure, take in consideration bolt orientation when you're building these chassis off the body. But yeah, but like I said, UMI equipped, we ready to go. Big brake, 6-piston, WILWOOD, 4-piston in the rear. Once again, you guys, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, but you got to hit the bell for notifications. But you guys already know, stay wrenching.